Okay, hi folks, and welcome back to Living and Surviving in America. Oh, thanks, I appreciate that. That's awful kind. But we got to kind of move on. So I hope you enjoyed the last couple of programs that I had on. What this program is about, in a nutshell, is really to provide you with information that can help you out, hopefully help you out, to live and survive in the United States, especially with everything that's going on, all the crises going on, the war over in Ukraine going on. And, it's just incredible that they're even running commercials now to help everybody in Ukraine. Okay, that's a good thing. I have no problem with that. But let me say this. The United States has spent over $55 billion supporting Ukraine. So I just have a question. The question is, what could we take care of in this country to help us with $55 billion? I would think it would be a lot, an awful lot. I'm not trying to deprive Ukraine. I'm not trying to do that. I feel bad and sorry for them. They're trying to be a democratic society. Putin doesn't want them to be. They're doing a great job holding their own so far. But we keep spending money, and we're spending money we don't have. And if you ask anybody in Congress, they'll tell you, we don't have any money to support any programs for us here in the United States. But whenever there's a war, we seem to have plenty of money to support anybody. We the overseer of everybody on the planet? Come on. I don't think so. I really don't. So I do have issues with it, especially the amount of money that could be used here to take care of us, take care of the homeless, the hungry, the poor, the people that can't afford health insurance, that can't afford prescription drugs, the people that are just trying to survive on dog food, and you don't think that's out there? That's out there. Let me tell you, it is. It's out there. There's no reason for it, none whatsoever. But yet, here we are, here it is, and we keep going through it. I just don't get it. We have to band together, we have to stand up, and we have to let everybody know, especially these congressmen, these senators, that enough is enough. You need to start taking care of the people in this country. You need to do it. So, I'll get off my high horse, and we do talk about a lot of things. We talk about the oil crisis, the economy, global economics, how it affects everybody. We talk a little bit about that as well. We talk about the healthcare industry, housing, real estate. We talk about health. Why health care is so unavoidable. I was talking to a guy the other day, him, a couple of kids, $1,600 a month, the health insurance. That is absurd. It is. Young guy, too, in his 30s. But, hey, if we don't put a stop to it, it won't stop. It won't. So we just need to do stuff about it. We need to get out our congressmen and our senators and our local government, and we just need to tell them, look, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again, and probably a lot of times. We voted you in office. We're going to vote you out of office if you don't start taking care of us. It's as simple as that. And we'll do it. And the oil crisis. I can't get over the oil crisis. I can't. This is incredible. We lost 2% of oil that we were buying from Russia. 2%. Now, we can pump 2% of oil in no time. But, you know what? The oil companies don't want to do it. They don't want to pump oil. That's why gas went up to almost $6. Now, gas is down to $4 or $4.20. Okay? Hey, but the price of oil dropped below $90. So gas should have gone down even further. But the oil companies still want to make a huge profit. they've made billions and billions of dollars in profit off of this oil crisis that shouldn't be. And we shouldn't even have an oil crisis. We shouldn't. We have plenty of oil that we can pump, plenty. But oil companies just don't want to do it. Sure, I can understand you don't want to pump a real huge surplus of oil because then the gas will go down to 10 cents, So, of course, we can't have that because the cost of living is so high. We can't put the oil companies out of business because then we're going to lose thousands and thousands of jobs. So we can't do that either. So what do? We have to find a happy medium. We do. And we need to find a happy medium. I mean, gas was around $3.50, right around there. That was plenty high enough for gas. Plenty high enough. It doesn't need to be this expensive. And it shouldn't be this expensive. But it is because we all grin and bear it and we don't want to stand our ground and we don't want to pursue a change because that's how it appears. But that's the way it is, so we'll just have to keep an eye on the oil industry and see how that's going. Sooner or later, you'd think they would stop and start pumping some oil to bring the cost of gas way down. Hey, they should, they really should. But we'll see. Anyways, I'm going to talk a little bit about diabetes today because there's like 20 million Americans that have diabetes and there's more and more coming every day. And a lot of diabetics, there's no reason for diabetic. We're eating all this crap food, all this sugar food, all these sodas with sugar in it, and candy and chips and all this stuff and donuts, everything that has an abundance of sugar in it that we shouldn't be eating, and we shouldn't. You take a plain donut. I think it's like 35 grams of sugar in a plain donut. That's incredible. That really is. And soda, terrible. It's really unbelievable. It is. Now, they do have sodas that are sugar-free sodas, but they have aspartame in them, and they have another sweetener in them, which is really sugar. So you're still drinking. You are. They have Diet Coke, which is probably the worst thing you can drink, or Diet Soda, or Diet Sprite, or Diet Pepsi, or Diet whatever it is, and that's terrible for you. You think it's not, but it is. It's terrible for you. Do your research. Get on to Google and check. Diet soda, how bad is it? And check everything. We're just eating way too much sugar. Way too much. And people are getting obese. Children now are getting really obese, from eating all this stuff because parents won't forbid it. You got to stop. You just do. Diabetes is becoming rampant in this country. And like I said, there's approximately, I think the real number for diabetics is roughly around 8 or 9 million people. I think that's what it is, really. I don't want to give misinformation, but I think that's really what it is. The type of medication is like glipizide and metformin. Those are two very popular medications for people with diabetics, but there are side effects from that too. You don't have to eat all this stuff. You can eat healthy, get some exercise, walk a little bit, something. There's no reason to keep putting on pounds, because you're bored, you may not have anything to do, so you would rather go to the theater, watch a movie, have a Coke, a giant thing of popcorn, some candy. You don't need it. You really don't, because you're asking for trouble. And once you get on it, let me tell you, a pre-diabetic person can probably get off it and fight it. But you're diabetic, you're going to have it. Now, a lot of people think, if I'm a diabetic, I can just take a pill. That'll take care of the problem. No, you're wrong. It won't. All that does is it helps to increase your problem and your craving for more. It just does. You know, that's the attitude that we have. I'm going to take a pill, so now I can have a donut, a candy bar, and a soda. Does not help you. It kind of negates the whole thing from taking a pill. You really got to cut it out. There's no reason to do it. It really isn't. You know, is it easy for me to talk? Yeah, it is. It's real easy for me to talk because I got the shot, the COVID shot. First one didn't bother me. The second one did bother me. And unfortunately, the second one affected my kidneys and my pancreas. And now, because of that shot and what it did to me, I'm taking insulin. I can't believe it myself, but I am. I'm taking insulin because of that. They did not do enough experimenting on the drug. They didn't. I've heard a lot of stories about people that have had terrible, terrible side effects. One in particular, this lady's daughter, you know, she's like 19 or 20. She lost her hair from a shot. It's not growing back. It's not going to grow back. Another guy, heart attack, stroke, people with lung disease, lung problems, all kinds of problems. Some of them even dying from it because there wasn't enough research because they said there wasn't enough time. Too many people were dying from COVID. So, you catch as catch can, you know, what do? You give them the shot, hope for the best. If a few people die and a lot more live, okay, then I guess that was acceptable. Not acceptable to me, that's for sure. Not. Because now I have an illness that I didn't have, and I'm stuck with it. So I can tell you about sugar because I eat none of it. None of it. I'm into the supermarket looking at the prices of everything, reading all the labels, how much sugar, how much saturated fat, how many carbs. And I got to tell you, I eat cardboard. That's about the only thing that will not give me a lot of carbs, sugar, and fat. Doesn't taste good. So I've really had to curb my diet. I really have. And I have to take an insulin shot every single day. And insulin puts weight on you, believe it or not. So I'm fighting two battles. I can't eat what I want to eat, but I am eating healthy. More healthy than I've ever eaten in my life. I'm eating a lot of vegetables. I'm eating a lot of chicken. I'm eating pork chops. That's about it for my meat intake. And that's about it. Oh, I can eat a very lean steak. You know what? But why look to create another problem if the other problem is going to hurt me than help me? So that's why you got to take care of yourself. You really do. You owe it to your family, yourself. You just do. Let me tell you this. Insulin. Insulin's been around for 100 years. 100 years. Now, you would think any medication that's been around for 100 years at this stage of the game would be free. But it's not. It's incredibly expensive. It is. I mean, even up until a year ago, a lot of people on insulin were paying $200, $400 a month for insulin. That's crazy. It's ridiculous. Now, the Democrats, you know, and I hate to use names, but they're trying to put a cap. They're trying to put a cap on these pharmaceutical companies for what they charge. You know, and they're saying right now, like a 30-day supply of insulin is somewhere between $50 and $100. That's still expensive, $100. A lot of people can't afford it, especially if they're taking it every day. You know, we have to do something about it. Now, let me tell you some great news, really great news. There is a company, you'll have to do the research, excuse me just a minute, you'll have to do a research and you're going to have to find out. But they're doing research on stem cell. It's stem cell research for diabetes. And I believe it's called diabetes mellitus. I believe that's what it's called. And it's really for the research they've done and the trials that they've had, it's proven out to be pretty successful. It had. It had. So that's a big home run for the diabetic industry. It is. Too many people, too much with diabetes, okay? Primarily for type 2 is what it's for. It helps type 2, and of course it helps a little bit with weight loss. So it can help you with that because insulin does put weight on. So it can help you with that. But there is a company that is doing it. I even have a phone number that you can call and just tell them that you heard about. They were research with diabetes using stem cells, and you were interested in it and you wanted to know more about it. I'll give you the phone number. It's 1-888-503-3711. Okay? You can give them a call. You can do that, or you can email them at contacts@truestemcell.com. That's contact@truestemcell.com. You can email them and get information as well. Because if you got it, you should do it. I can tell you this, the research, if you get accepted for the program to do it, it's pretty expensive. It is. But you can get all that information as well to get a hold of them. So you can even Google stem cell research for diabetes. You can do that. All right? But you should do something. Especially if there's something out there that can help you and move you along to live a healthier life, a more normal life, and get you off medication and get you off insulin. That's really what you need to do. You should do that. So, I want you to check it out. I didn't mean to run at the mouth on this, but it's very important. It is. I'm going to check this out myself and get some more information, especially the cost of this, because I think the cost of this is going to be a little prohibitive for most people. The latest research I found, which was a couple of weeks ago, the costs range anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 for the treatment. So, that's expensive. But, like everything, the more you use it, hopefully it comes down. The only problem is after 100 years, insulin isn't coming down. Problem with that is there's only 3 companies that manufacture insulin. And because there's only 3, you know what? They got a clutch right on the market. They do. They band together. They dictate the cost. And of course, with so many people with diabetes, why should they drop the price? They're making a fortune. But you got to band together. You got to put pressure on. You do. And the more you put on, the better it's going to be. It really is. So, I want you to research it. I want you to check it out. I really do. And I want you to think about what you eat, and what you're doing and you don't do to take care of yourself, and make some changes in your life. You deserve to be healthy. You do. And you deserve to live a long time. You certainly don't want to die from diabetes. There's like 1 million people out of those 8 or 9 million that I told you about, that it's an absolute necessity for them to live. They have to take it. If they don't, they're certainly going to die. And I'm sure they don't want to die either. So, if you know anybody that has diabetes, type 1, type 2, give them the phone number I gave you, have them make a call, see what they can do. And the more I research it, which I'm continually going to do, and the more information I get, I'm going to give you the information so you can use it or you can pass it on. So I hope you're all happy with that. I really am. I do. I hope you're okay. All right. Don't overdo it. Come on. And I appreciate it. I really do. I want this program to be a success for everybody because I'm really trying to give everybody good information. I really am. So that's my show. No more for another week. And it's called Living and Surviving in America. That's what it's called. My name's Neil. I'm your host. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll look forward to speaking with you again next week. And thanks so much for tuning in. All right. Thank you. Have a great day, and I'll talk at you later. Bye-bye.